Now this does not look like the Inferno expansion, because in my last campaign video I said I was going to play as Fortress, but in the Inferno unboxing video I said I was going to play as Inferno. But I now understand where I made my mistake. It's not that the Inferno box does not often come with a mission book, it's that it does not come with a solo campaign in the mission book. There is no Inferno solo campaign as of now. I'm hoping on September 17th, when they launch the campaign again for the Conflux, Cove, and Stronghold, that maybe we'll get some Inferno action. But anyway, back to Fortress. This is going to be mission number 1 of the Fortress campaign, Playing with Fire. After the restoration of Arathia, the necromantic cult of Lord Hart was made illegal, and its members went underground. Cultists resurrected their leader and decided to move to Tatalia. At the same time, after receiving lessons from clerics in Stedwick, the Arathanian capital, the witch Adrienne returns to her homeland, Tatalia. Her brethren treat her with distrust, also because she specializes in fire magic, rare in Tatalia. She discovers a Death Knight is turning the local population into a harvesting ground for undead. Restore the land and hunt down this evil. Utter extermination of the undead plague is your ultimate goal. I'm going to be playing as Adrienne, and I actually chose my starting bonus to be Search the Spell Deck 3 cards, and I chose Firewall. The other options were Frost Ring and View Earth. So I got my army, which starts with Gnolls and Rogues, and I have no town. I have till the 4th round to capture the town. There are going to be event cards in this, which happen every resource round that is not an Astrologer's Proclaim round, not starting with the first resource round. So, you'll see some new mechanics at play here. I have technically 4 rounds to capture the town or I lose, or 13 rounds to beat the entire mission. Please help us. Adrienne climbed the hill to have a better view of the area. The landscape on the other side resembled her beloved Tatalia even more. The forests grew denser, while grasslands gradually yielded to mossy swamps. Her eye even caught a glimpse of a few unique herbs native to her homeland. The sight, however, brought her little joy, because no matter where she looked, her gaze was met with eerie emptiness. No chimney smoke, no horse-pulled carts, no tired peasants toiling in the fields. She had hoped that the familiar sights would compensate for the harshness of her long journey from Arathia to Tatalia, and yet her heart sank with every abandoned town that she passed. "I have yet to encounter a living soul," she murmured to herself. "There is only the lingering stench of—" She would even prefer annoying kids' banters to that silence, or their mockery. The Fire Witch, which they have started to call her, cannot bear to be away from her lands, but it is not readily welcome there either. For the people of Tatalia fear fire magic and shun all who use it. Yet that was a price Adrienne was willing to pay. Knowing the power it holds, and wanting to wield it, she let these desires pave her path. She let them guide her every step, even when she left her home and her whole world behind. She never regretted it. The time spent in Stedwick studying with the clerics was useful and productive. Without it, she would have never become who she was today. But it was for too long away from the swamps and the marshes she loved and called home. A sudden movement in the bushes below a nearby pine roused her from her musings. She jumped down and rushed towards it. The bushes rustled, and she prepared for attack. Even in Arathia there are beasts to be wary of. It was not beasts, but peasants. With blood caked and dried on their faces and wraith-like bodies, terror gripped these peasants and held them captive. Barely able to stutter out the horrors they were witness to. Finally, after a bit of water and some coaxing, one of them told the tale in near senseless jumble of words. I was farming, and my wife was picking out berries with the children." He closes his eyes to squeeze out the images and breathes deeply. Then we will be set upon by a wailing none of us have ever heard before. Frozen in terror, I watched these ghastly things flew toward my wife and children." He sobbed, unable to speak for a moment. "Then I ran and ran, never looked back. Mortimer found me 2 days later, but he's dead now, or at least sort of. He walks, but does not see or hear that we were his friends. He killed his own son." The man finally broke down completely and cried like a child. This was worse, much worse. Who is unknown? Why is unknown? Alright, because of that, my hero instantly gains a level. I haven't drawn cards yet. So it says instead of gaining an ability from leveling up, which I am now level 2, I get a diplomacy card into my hand. And then after drawing my hand limit, another diplomacy card will immediately go on top of my deck. So my hand limit being 4 is... there we go. And taking the diplomacy, putting it on top of my deck. Alright, so for my first action, I'm going to go here, get 3 gold. Then I will go up here to a level 2 encounter, which is going to be 2 bronze tier units. But before I do that, I am going to, once during your turn, look at the top card from any deck, then put it back on the top or bottom of that deck, or I'm actually going to do diplomacy here. For every dwelling you have, draw 1 corresponding neutral unit card. You can recruit 1 of each of these units for its recruitment cost. Now, I can't recruit or anything because I have no dwellings. However, special rules for this scenario mean I can recruit bronze or silver tier units without the dwellings. So we'll see what we can do. Which I have Cerberus and Pit Lords up for purchase, but I only have enough for... I'll take the Pit Lords. Obvi. Silver tier better than bronze tier, so let's add those to the army. Now, another special rule with this scenario is that 1 of the bronze tier units in every neutral encounter is replaced by zombies. So we will also be facing familiars. Accidentally cheated. I'm supposed to have my units set up before I see what's in combat. So anyway, I have a 7, and a 7, a 3, a 6, and a 4. So I am actually going to cast Firewall. And for this combat, this card, place this card in an empty space on the combat board. Deal damage to any unit stopping here, to any melee or ranged unit passing through. So the imps are going to go, and we will use my expert level effect at this to cast it at 2 spell power, which will be 2 instant damage to them. So the Pit Lords are going to go here, and we will attack the zombies at -1. That's 3 against defensive 1, 2 damage to them, and that is going to be an activation on the Pit Lords. Zombies retaliate. 0. 2 against defensive 1. That's going to be 1 damage to my Pit Lords. That's a retaliation from them. Now the familiars are going to go. Whenever an enemy casts a spell from hand, they must discard 1 card from hand. Oh, I will discard knowledge then. I did not see that. So the familiars are going to go and stop there because they try to kill the same tier, and they will move to the closest enemy within 1 move according to AI. So he's going to walk into the firewall and receive 2 damage and die. And now the rogues are going to go with initiative of 6. At 0. So 2 against defensive 1, that's 1 damage there. Dead. Alright. Oh, the zombies stay out. Did not lose anyone. However, I have no hand. So we will spend my last movement point. Oh, that's flagged. That's flagged, and now I can choose an artifact actually first. Boots of Speed. Instant, your hero gains +1 movement, or for this combat, your selected unit gains +1 initiative. Visiting a local wise man, you explain the intent of your journey. He reaches into a chest and withdraws a strange pair of boots, which he hands to you. Or Shield of the Damned. Instant. Target unit gains +3 defense and suffers 1 damage. It cannot be used on an enemy unit. Or, instant. This target gains +5 and suffers 2 damage. It cannot be used on an enemy unit. A sprite is carrying a shield as big as it is. You ask, need help? The sprite glares at you and answers, you think this is funny? Fine, you can carry it. I much prefer flying anyway. Boots of Speed. That's what I'm taking. So now, as an instant, I will use this to gain a movement point back, which I will spend this movement point to discover here. This tile. Oop. I beat that combat, so I get a half experience. And... I'll do that. And with one more movement point, I will go here, gain an experience, which boosts me up to level 3. Not a bad way to start the second round. Or third round. No, second. Alright, we are going to round 2, which is an astrologer's round. Astrologers proclaim Week of the Explorers. During this round, players do not draw cards at the start of their turns. Instead, each player draws cards up to their hand limit. Then, each of them may discard any number of cards. For every 3 cards discarded this way, they can remove 1 statistic card and replace it with an empowered statistic card of the same type. We are explorers, the ones who delve into the unknown regions of experience, demons to some, angels to others. Okay, so that would be my hand limit of 5. That's kind of a lot of trash. So yeah, let's discard these 3. No. Let's discard Wisdom, Knowledge, and Fire Magic. And it says they can remove 1 statistic card and replace it with an empowered statistic card of the same type. So it doesn't say from the discarded cards. But that doesn't seem right. So I'll just stick with the knowledge, and I will get rid of my knowledge for an empowered knowledge card, which empowered cards come in the Inferno expansion. Alright, and it says instead of drawing cards at the beginning of my turn for that, so that's that. That does not leave me too much to do this turn. So we will go here. We'll spend a movement point to go up to this treasure chest. It's a level 2 encounter. I'm level 3, so they flee in terror. Roll 2 treasure die. Collect 1 of the results. I will take, I believe that's roll 2 resource die. Yes, and choose 1 result. I'll take 2 valuable bowls. We'll use a movement point to go here, which we will discover this tile, which, I can't put the mine that way. We'll do it like that. Then we'll use our 3rd movement point to go here. This is explored. However, it's a level 3 encounter. We will do Diplomacy as an expert level. Skip combat with neutral units on a field whose field difficulty is equal to your hero's level. Visit the field. This hero gains no experience. So I will flag that mine, which increases my valuables income by 1, and produces a valuable right away. Okay. Now, hopefully I get some spells or something to attack this town, because it's a level 3 neutral army when I get there. I was going to use Diplomacy on that, however, the wording is the field difficulty. There is no field difficulty on that, so can't bend the rules there. As my dad would do, he'd imagine getting a bar and go, when people would be bending rules. Alrighty, round 3. We are going to, I don't have any of this stuff. Okay, we are going to move to round 3, which is a resource round. However, I do not have a town, so I cannot produce resources. But it is an event round, so Cursed Swamp. On your journey, you wander into a swamp. Only after some time do you notice the eerie atmosphere surrounding this place and the eyes lurking just beneath the water's surface. Eyes of the dead. Your army trembles in panic while you gather your thoughts. Will you force them to go on, or maybe shield them with your magic? Each player chooses one option. Gain negative morale and roll 2 treasure die and roll 1 result, or remove 1 or more spells from your hand. If you remove at least 2, search 3 the artifact, or discard your cheapest unit, or, only for Necromancer, reinforce 1 of your bronze or silver for free. Well, I don't think I can do these. Discard my cheapest unit. I will discard my gnolls. And that's not exactly the best way to start this round. Do I want to do that? Gain a negative morale. I'll gain the negative morale and choose the 2 treasure die. I will get my gnolls back. I'm not gonna... I have a battle coming up. I can't do that. So, got my negative morale. Choose 1 result. Both are artifacts, so I will search the artifact deck and choose 1. Breastplate of Brimstone. Instant. Search for the spell deck, or instant +1 power. Then discard up to 3 cards from your hand, gain +1 power per card discarded. You meet a blacksmith who is melting down an old pieces of armor. When he learns of your quest, he gives you a breastplate that he claims refused to melt and is therefore of no value to him. And Crown of Dragontooth. Select 2 spell cards from your discard pile and put them back into your hand, or instant, remove 1 spell from your hand, then search the spell deck twice. Your troops find a crown. They hand it to you, and you notice an inscription. It reads, "Brains best brawn and magic beats might. Heed my words and you'll win every fight." I will choose the Crown of the Dragontooth. Alright, I've got 5 cards for my hand limit. I'm going to use this as an instant to remove a spell from your hand, then search the spell deck twice. Now it's removed, which means it's gone from the game. I really hope this works out. Resurrection. Cancel an attack that would reduce your unit's health to 0. You can cast the spell immediately after the enemy unit's attack. Okay. Or Dispel. Remove all ongoing effects from a space or a unit and the space it occupies. I will take Resurrection. Not really too pleased with that trade. I'll go here, and I will gain a positive morale token and a movement point back, which negates the negative morale token. I will move up here for 1. That's visited. I will go here for 2, and I will go here for 3. They flee in terror, which increases that, and I flag it, so I immediately get its production, which is 2 building materials. Alright, now I have till the end of round 4 to capture a town. And I don't think there's anything else I wanted to do this round, so there we go. Alrighty, round 4, which is a astrologer's round. Astrologers proclaim Week of the Hero. Each player can spend 4 gold to remove a statistic card from their hand and replace it with an empowered statistic card of the same type. Each player may do so twice, but both exchanges must be made on the same turn. Once a player makes the exchange, they place their faction cube on this card to mark the fact. You are without a doubt the worst hero I've ever heard of, but you have heard of me, Pirates of the Caribbean. I believe this card will be active until the next time Astrologer's round happens, because it says it just must happen on the same turn when I make that exchange, and I believe this is active until a card replaces it, so I can't do that now, but at the start of the next turn, if I capture this town, I'll be able to, and I like the empowered cards, so I'm going to go for that. And flip these. I will discard defense and take a gamble on a shuffle here, see if we can get something better. Wisdom and defense. Ugh. Kind of trash for what I have to do. Now this is not a neutral encounter, so I don't have to spend movement points, I believe, to keep it going. Even though it's defended by neutral units, it's not a neutral encounter. Nope, rulebook just says combat against neutral units, so I'm going to save the 2 movement points just in case. And we will spend 1 to go here and set up my troops. And it is a level 3 neutral encounter in this town. So 2 bronze, 1 silver tier. One of these is going to be a zombie. And we will have Magogs. Oh, that's the 2 bronze. And demons. Okay. I had to fix how the demons were, but I also noticed they have 8 health. So, yay. 7. I am the fastest. So, we will cast this, and as an expert effect, as an instant, I'll use this for 2 spell power, which I will deal 3 damage immediately to the demons. I will deal it to the Magogs, actually. No, to the zombies, and kill them. Don't have to waste time on zombies then. How about that for 2 takebacks? Anyway, we'll do that, and then we will now do... That's my... Yes, I only have 1 expert effect. We'll do the Pit Lords. We'll go up here, and they will attack the Magogs. And, whoop. No treasure dice needed. At a base attack of 4, they kill on anything but a -1. Of course. Okay. Well, there's an activation. 3 to the Magogs. Magogs are going to retaliate. That's 0. So 2 against defensive 1. That's 1 damage to the Pit Lords. That's a retaliation. 6 and 6, the rogues. We are going to go 1, 2, 3, and fight the demons. Base of 2. 1 against defensive 0 is 1. Demons are going to retaliate at +1. So 4 does 3, kills my rogues. Fantastic. And we will now activate the demons, who will go here and fight the Pit Lords. 3 against defensive 1 is 2 damage to them. That's an activation. Pit Lords are going to retaliate at -1. 3 more to the demons. And that's an activation on the demons. Retaliation from the Pit Lords. Magogs are going to go and they're going to shoot at the gnolls because they try to kill same tier units first. At +1. That's 3 against defensive 1. It's 2 damage to the gnolls. That's an activation on them. The dog had to go out. Anyway, gnolls are going to activate, and they are going to attack the demons at +1, so that's 3 against defensive 0. So now we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, I believe. Yeah, they're dead. No, they're not. They're at 7. And it's going to be a new combat round. I have to spend. Everybody's cubes are cleared. Pit Lords are going to start, and we are going to fight. Who do we want to attack here? We'll attack the demons. I just have to do, 3 damage. Now they're dead. Okay. Magogs are going to attack, and they're going to attack the gnolls. At -1. So that puts them at 1 against defense of 1. That's an activation. Gnolls are going to go and attack the Magogs. At 2 against defense of 0 is enough to kill them. They also deal 1 damage to units adjacent to the target. Well, even so, that wouldn't have killed the Pit Lords. It would have put them to 4. Okay. So now my rogues are dead. I can buy them again, but I don't want to, because I'm going to get resources next round. Well, let's see if there's any special rules for the town. Town of Basdar. Upon approaching the half-destroyed town of Basdar, mutterings can be heard within the troop ranks. Worried about their homes and families, they begin to wonder if they will ever return and if there will be ever anything to return to. Such talk causes the men's morale to falter. Something must be done soon. Good news needs to arrive, for if it does not, you will surely lose the war. Unfortunately, the reports from the others confirm your worst fears. Someone is slaughtering the peasantry to make an undead army. But for what reason? The sight of a lone figure of a young girl hiding behind the ruins makes you push the dark thoughts away for a moment. Her dress is torn and tattered, and she is half-starved. You rush your troops to share some of the meager supplies you are carrying, and she wolfs down the offering. Her story is a brave one, as she counts the numbers in the garrison while hiding from scouting parties for several days. There were 5 men on large black horses, 10 had glowing staffs, and there were 20 of the bloodsuckers, and there were 35 floating women in rags with glowing eyes. 50 of the slow-moving, rotting corpses shuffled around, with 100 of the skeletons in broken bits of armor. Once done telling her story, she begins to sob uncontrollably, relieved to be out of harm's way. This must stop. These are horrors a child should never witness. Bearing this resolve in mind, you call your army to set this place as your base, and you rush to your tent. Determined to appraise the Arathian officials of the situation, you start your letter. You finish it just as the evening sun paints your tents with shades of flaming red. You give the message a final quick read. My name is Adrienne, Witch of Tatalia. I'm aware recently we're at war, but now is the time for our lands to work together. Recently, on a journey home from Stedwick, I crossed paths with a group of peasants from Brasselton. My men have confirmed the news of the undead overrunning the land. Arathia is under attack by these vile creatures. I am the only one who has answered their pleas. I do not know of the troubles you are having with this new menace, but any help would be appreciated. Satisfied the message conveys the urgency of the situation, you rise to send it off, hoping the Arathians will take seriously a request for help from Tatalion. Just when you are about to leave, your most trusted friend and advisor, Baltron, shows up. Adrienne, there's no way Arathia is going to assist us, and yet you attempt to beg help from them. They are still upset at the war, and are probably under attack. Why do you bother? Well, I must try. A small quirky smile brushes past your face. This way I have covered all of my bases. If we fail, then no one can say I should have asked for help. What if they do not refuse? It is a possibility I cannot pass up. You are no warrior. I need troops and other warriors or spellcasters. I do value your assistance, but we simply need more help. This is not going to be an easy battle, and you know it. The weight of your words makes him reply with silence. Unwittingly, your face catches some of your resolve, and your usual frown settles back into its accustomed place. Now I get to choose prizes. I can choose either option 1, gaining a city hall, a bronze tier dwelling, 30 gold, 3 valuables, set production of building materials to 2, set production of gold to 20, or a bronze tier, a silver tier, plus 8 gold, plus 8 building materials, plus 1 valuable, set production of building materials to 2, and set production of gold to 20. I'm going to take option 1. And I don't think they expected me to capture mines on the way there, so I'm just going to add that because I have these mine productions. But anyway, I will gain first my City Hall. There's my Arsenio Hall, and I gain a bronze tier dwelling. Cage of the Warlords, which bronze tier units are kind of trash. I get 30 gold, plus 3 valuables. Set production of this to 2, which would put that up to 4. And set production of gold to 20, which plus 10, or plus 1. No, the gold goes up to 20 because I didn't earn a gold mine, so that does go to that. Okay, that was a productive round, I believe, but it is not over yet. But it is not this day. So we will spend a resource or a movement point to go here. And now that I can recruit, I will spend 10 gold to recruit my secondary hero. And I will waste no time bringing him here, rolling the resource die. So I get a valuable. And with his second movement point, he's going to go here. Okay, and before I am done, silver tier units is 8 gold, 6 building materials, 3 valuables. Wow, that's... Man, these guys are expensive. I can't afford that. No wonder it offered that as a prize. Eesh. Well, can't do anything. That's the round. Alright, round 5, which is a resource round, which means it's an event round. Marketplace. While passing through a small town, you find a lively marketplace. Despite all the turmoil in the world, this place seems strangely cheerful and happy. Will you stop and see what they offer? Each player chooses one option: roll the resource die and resolve its effects, or trade resources using trading post rules, or propose an exchange of resources with other players. One type of resource for one type of resource. Each player can propose one deal. I will choose to roll the resource die and resolve its effects because I have no one to trade with. 2 valuables. Now I kind of wish that I could trade with the trading post after that. Alright, and I gain my income, which I had set up already. Flip my tokens, my JRR tokens, and we will do secondary hero. We'll go here and here. No, he can't yet. Can't go there yet. Spend a movement point to discover this tile. Another town. This one is actually a combat encounter, so we will do that. Yeah, level 3 combat encounter. Oh, I wanted to discard these 3 cards and draw a better hand. So we spent that to discover. That's a level 3 encounter. I will use this as an instant to gain a movement point back. Select 2 spell cards from your discard pile and put them back into your hand. What do I have? No, hold on. Yeah, I will use that as an instant to put these 2 back into my hand. There we go. And for this round, it says I can do diplomacy without having the proper building. Another thing that I forgot was when I leveled up to level 3, I chose my abilities, but I did not film. I chose Scholar, so somewhere in this deck is Scholar, and I did not choose Offense. Okay, I was going over what I wanted to do here, so I'm going to spend 8 gold, my 6 building materials, and 3 valuables. And I will build my silver tier dwelling, the swamp layers. And at the beginning of each resource round, choose 5 gold or exchange resources like the trading post. Forgot to do that. A lot more opened up once I got a town, so since this was a resource round, I'm gaining the 5 gold. I am going to use diplomacy For every dwelling you have, draw one of the corresponding neutral unit cards. You can recruit one of these units for its recruitment cost. So we will do Pegasi, or not gargoyles, they were stuck to the bottom, elves. I don't really want either of these. But for my silver tier units, Gorgons, I will spend 6 gold and 9 gold, 10, 13, 14, 15, to get basilisks and Gorgons and add those to my army. I'm not going to recruit these rogues again ever, so I'm just going to put them in the stack because I don't want them. And now I will go get a free pair of work gloves. Let's go here and fight this level 3 encounter here, which is 2 bronze and a silver. Yes, so Zomfirbees are going to be in there for sure. Where's my army? Here they are. Let's do Pit Lords, Gorgons, Basilisks, and Gnolls on the end. So, zombies. There's the gargoyles. And Gorgons. I like the neutral Gorgons better, because they do stuff. And that was my recruit that I forgot to flip that. Forgot. Because I had that when I recruited my secondary hero. Let's begin. 7, 5, 5, 4, 9. Gargoyles are first. Closest unit within 1. -1. That's 1 against defensive 1. They do nothing. Pit Lords retaliate. At 5 against defensive that 1 is 4 damage. Gargoyles are dead. That's a retaliation from them. Now I am first. So let's do casts. We will cast Magic Arrow, and we will sacrifice these 2 as instants for spell power. So we'll cast this at 2 spell power, and we'll hit the Gorgons with it for 3. Then we'll play this instant, play this card after casting a spell. Instead of discarding the spell card, take it back into your hand. During this combat, your spell limit is increased by 1. We will cast it again at 0 power for 1 more damage, killing the Gorgons. And that'll be that. Now the Pit Lords are going to go. Let's take out these zombies. -1. So 3 against defensive 1 is 2. Zombies retaliate. +1, 3 against defensive 1, 2 damage. That's a retaliation. My Gorgons are going to go. +1, so 5 against defensive 2 because of their ability is 3 damage. Done. I know the zombies have that ability that gives them the plus defense, but I definitely don't mind having zombies be what's in there anyway. That's a experience point. And now for capturing this town, I am going to increase my building materials. So my building material income would go up to 6. And as a one-time additional flag bonus, immediately gain the income chosen at the time of flagging. So I get 2 building materials. Okay. Now, let's continue. I will spend a movement point to go here, getting the experience point there, which boosts me up to level 4, which gives me my level 4 ability. which I will right now. Search 3 your deck, then shuffle your cards from your discard pile into your deck. So I will search, there's Scholar 3, and shuffle my discard pile into my deck. And now I will spend an experience point to discover this tile. Which I will just put like that. Okay. Before my turn ends, I'm going to use this as an instant to get +1 spell power, just because I don't want that in my hand at the start of the next round. Increase my options. Okay. Might have been a dumb move, but that... oh. I flipped this over. He was supposed to go there. I have one more move point from my main hero, which I just used to discover that tile. That's what I did. Okay. All done. Alright, I can only gain one more level. I can go up to level 5 in this. But now we are going to be starting round 6, which is an astrologer's round. But first, a story event. Some things never change. Last night, you came across lots of piles of rotting flesh. Even though they did not move, you were confident it was a trap. Rather than risking another confrontation, you unleashed the flames burning in your soul, cleansing the area of rotting bodies. The men were horrified at the show of fiery magic. Recoiling from your destruction of what obviously had become zombies, they stood far from you. The fear in their eyes was enough of an answer, why? As you reminisce, a cloud of dust rising over the road behind your troops moves close enough for you to see horsemen rushing towards your position. You hastily move through your men to discover the riders to be 2 messengers. One of them was a part of the group you sent to Tatalia to scout the situation. Only he returned. Your worst fears seem to have come true. The infection of the undead has spread across the border and into Tatalia. There will be no way to get word to the leaders anytime soon. You must move to deal with this problem without help from your beloved homeland. Moreover, the sighting of the leader occurred some days ago. It is a death knight on a great black charger. Loyal followers obey his every wish and command. He has moved deeper into Tatalia, and you know this does not bode well for your homeland. Time is of the essence. It is the other messenger who makes your heart skip a beat, however, as he bears the official insignia of Arathia. Such a quick reply can only mean one thing. You hastily grab the letter from him, but the moment you start reading, you tense up. We regretfully inform you of our inability to assist in this manner. Due to a new and formidable menace, we are unable to spare a single knight or cleric. Since the disturbance takes place on the Arathian-Tatalian border, we would be grateful if you and your people were able to remove this nuisance. There is, however, one knight whom you may be able to recruit. He is being ransomed by a group calling themselves the Night Stalkers. If you free him and show this letter, he will offer the aid you need. Barely containing the burning fury welling up within, you crumple the letter and stuff it into your pocket. Fools never listen. While you were occupied with the letter, Baltron showed up. Your expression gives away the answer to his unspoken question, so he starts instead, "My dearest young witch, you know this is going to be an I told you so session. I did warn you against begging for aid from Arathia. Even the Tatalians are unreachable. I'm truly surprised they even took the time to write what they did." You cut him off angrily. "Quiet! I am the one who makes the decisions around here. Don't give me that I told you so crap. I was well aware of this response was going to be. Now I have covered my bases, and we can get on with the business of burning the plague of the undead from the land." Unconsciously, your hands have clenched and power had begun to slither out and curl around you like a snake ready to strike. Seeing the terror in his eyes, you stalk out and curse him for getting you so angry. You try to leave, but the moment you take your first step, the messenger stops you. "That is not all," he says with an apologetic expression while handing you another, less official letter from Arathian lords from outer regions of the kingdom. They noticed your movements. They need money to run a war. Busy with their own problems, they've neglected to realize there are problems on the border. The messenger says if he does not return with the tithe due from this area, then he will have to tell the Arathian military there is a Tatalian witch running the territories here, and that could be very bad for you. Their audacity knows no bounds. Baltron says nothing more and just leaves you alone. You order to set up camp. You need time to gather your thoughts. That night, your own men, fearful of your fire magic, shun you. In the morning, black smoke plumed in the sky. Rushing to see why the forest was burning, you saw the most amazing sight. The men were grimly surrounding a pyre. There, the bodies of the dead were being burned. Apparently, they had come to terms with the fire and realized its value here. If the bodies were not utterly destroyed, then they would soon join the ranks of the undead. It was best this way. Now, the victory conditions for this map are unlocked, and I have to meet them both. I have to get 40 gold, 20 building materials, 10 valuables, and I also have to kill the Night Stalkers. So, here we go. So, because I was questioning whether or not I could change those for empowered, I chose not to, and just let the new astrologers round start, which astrologers proclaim it Week of the Dancing Imp. Each player can remove a statistic card from their discard pile or hand and gain one empowered statistic card of the same type. Welcome to the hellhole. It gets worse here every day. Learn to live like a flame beast in the pit where we play. That is, I believe, Guns N' Roses. Welcome to the hellhole. Gets worse here every day. Learn to live like a flame beast in the pit where we play. Yeah, that's Welcome to the Jungle. Interesting. So I'm going to remove this power and get an empowered power. Violet. You're turning violet, Violet. I am going to discard this card. And 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Let's begin. We'll do just first off, we'll go here with that hero. Scholar, what does that do? Roll an attack die and find the result. +1. Alright. Draw a chosen statistic card or remove one of the statistic cards from hand. Well, I will draw an attack. I don't have any of that. So yeah, I'll take that. And he is visitable. So he's done. Okay, let's go here. They flee in terror, so resources are artifact. I'll roll the 2 resource die and take a result. Since that's tied to my victory conditions, I will choose 4 building materials. No question. And that is flagged with a black cube. We'll go here with the 3rd movement. Get 3 gold. And that's going to be a quick round. We'll do Boots of Speed as an instant to gain a movement point back. And we will go here. And so let's see, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. I can fit 1 more unit in my army. I'm just going to use this as an expert instant to skip combat, which I don't want to do. I can't do it because this is after casting a spell. That one has an actual effect. Got to keep it and discard it later. That's that round. Alright, round 7, resource round, also known as event round. Let's see what we can do. Prison. In the town you have passed recently, you heard rumors of some people from your lands having been imprisoned by a local governor. In a dazzling display of daring, you break into the jail and free all imprisoned there. In return, some of them pledge loyalty to your cause. Draw 2 neutral unit cards from any deck, except Azure. You can buy one of them, or discard it to gain 3 gold. After that, pass the remaining cards to the next player. That player also draws a neutral unit card from any deck, except for Azure, and repeats the rest of the process. This exchange goes until every player has had a chance to do something. Yeah, I can buy one of them or discard it to gain 3 gold. Well, I'm going to draw from the gold deck. Gimme, 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 gimme. And we have Archdevils and Ifrit. I will take the Archdevils. I will pay 23 gold for sure to get those. And I will not buy the Ifrit. I will then produce my resources, which I had already set aside. I will discard Fire Magic and Knowledge. And gain those. Let's see. What do I want to do? I will, as an instant, remove one spell from your hand and search the spell deck. I'm getting rid of Resurrection. And I will get to choose between Sorrow and Slow. These are dumb. I'll get Sorrow. Okay, refresh my movement points. Spend 2. So we'll go to the trading post and then go down here. 3 gold to search the spell deck. I'll kick a buck. Let's see, maybe I can get something better. Frenzy or Forgetfulness. This unit ignores the defense of the attacked unit. Woo! I'll take Frenzy because it's fire magic first off. Alright. That's going to be that. And then we will start pathway up here. I'll just use 2 movement to go here to the Witch's Hut, which is 1 or 2. I gotta check that. The Witch Hut lets me draw the top, and I can either put it into my hand or the discard pile. I'll put that in the ability discard pile. Man, round 7 turning out to be kind of lame. And we will do a movement point to discover this tile, which we will put like that. Okay, there's round 7. Actually, before round 8 starts, I'm going to spend 8 gold, 5 building materials, and a valuable to build my citadel because I'm going to want to reinforce. Now, a special event for round 8 is all black cubes are removed from the map and they can be revisited. Alright, flip these, get my movement points back, discard Sorrow, discard Attack, and I will keep the Firewall. 3, 4, 5. Okay, first off, secondary hero is going to move here. It's level 3, so they flee because my main hero is level 4. So I will automatically flag that. Gold production goes up, and I get the gold right away that it produces. So I think it's 5. I'm not going to get 30 or 25 gold from doing that. It just goes up by 1. So we'll take the 5. And then we will go here. We'll go this way. Okay. We will move 1 movement point to go down to this tree. And it's bury 3 or 4 valuables. Oop. Oh. That's unfortunate. 3 valuables or 10 gold to gain 2 experience points. Let's do... We'll do the 10 gold. We can get the valuables, or the gold back faster than the valuables. So that'll put me up to level 5. Which means I now choose... Let me just make sure it's 2 of these cards. Yes, I was correct. You don't play for 2 weeks, you start to slip back into old things. Ballistics. Play this card during a siege. Draw cards from the spell deck until you find a basic spell card. Take it into your hand or discard it. Reshuffle the rest of find an expert spell card. Take it into your hand or discard it. Reshuffle the rest of the cards back into the spell deck. I guess I'll take Eagle Eye. Tell you one thing, when I rebuild my deck of cards after this campaign is over, if I win, this thing's not coming with me. Draw cards from the spell deck until you find an expert spell card. Take it into your hand or discard it. I will do an expert effect on that. I can do a total of 2 expert effects. So, until I find an expert spell. Precision. Magic Arrow, not an expert spell. It's just all schools. So 3. Dimension Door. Okay. Take that, and these get shuffled back in. My second expert effect, remove up to 2 statistic cards from your hand or discard pile. Take up to 2 different empowered statistic cards and put them on top of your discard pile. Remove Scholar. So I will remove Scholar, which I will just put in there. I just won't take it. I'll put it on the bottom. Okay. Then I will choose, I believe it's Attack and Knowledge. Yep, I chose Knowledge and Attack. I know it says choose 2 different statistic cards to keep and put empowered. I don't think that means I can just get rid of Knowledge and choose something else that I want more, so I just chose the 2 different being the 2 different ones that I got rid of. So now we will go to the Witch Hut again. I don't need to do any more experience stuff. And I will take Scouting, I guess. I will spend my last movement point to go here, and I can choose, look at the top 3 cards of your discard pile, choose one of them to put back into your hand. I will choose the Attack. Round 9. And it is going to be an event round. A shady auction. In the depth of night, you come across a crowdy camp encircling a stage. On it, a corpulent man with a twirly mustache is shouting vigorously, "And all the vase goes to the lovely bearded lady in the back row. Now gaze upon this marvelous item I shed tears and blood to get. Not mine, of course. The starting price is..." Repeat 3 times. Reveal the top card from the artifact deck. In secret, each player takes as much gold in their hand as they are willing to pay for it. Then reveal your bets at the same time. The one with the highest proposal discards the gold and claims the card. If there are no bets, or the bets is a tie, discard the card. Okay, well, this is going to be pretty simple. We'll just do... Is it... Yeah, the cards are revealed first, then each player. So I'm just going to do, since I'm by myself, I'll just do 3 separate bets to see which ones I'm willing to spend a gold on. Hourglass of the Evil Hour will be first. Vial of Lifeblood, and Endless Sack of Gold. Well, yeah, okay. I'm not going to bid on this. So no. Vial of Lifeblood. I will spend a gold on that. And then this one I will spend a gold on and play it immediately to remove this card and gain 8 gold. So I gain a total of 6 gold from that. And then resource round, I gained all my resource income, which I had already previously set aside, including my city hall. And then here's my hand, which I will discard Scouting, Defense, and that is going to be my hand limit of 6, which I don't know if I could use that Endless Sack of Gold that fast, so I will be fair to myself and discard Frenzy, just to say that I know it's an instant, but I was just getting it from the auction. So yeah, no, it's an instant. So it would have happened as soon as I acquired it, before I even reached the rest of the step of discarding and drawing cards. So yeah, there. That might be a little stretch, but it works. These event cards, clearly designed for more players than one, but I'll take them. Okay, let's begin the turn. We'll do here, gain 3. And we'll do another movement to go here, search the artifact deck, which I got rid of scouting. Just 2, greedy. Dragon Scale Armor and Legs of Legion. I will take the Dragon Scale Armor, or Loins of Legion. Yeah. No, I will not take that. Okay. Flagged. This one was flagged because I visited that last turn, as was this. Man, sloppy. Alright, we will spend a movement to go here, get a positive morale token, and a movement back. We will do Diplomacy. Oh, no, we won't. Need to build my building first. 10, 9, and 4. 10 gold. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 building materials. 4 valuables to build my nest upon the pond, so I can recruit gold tier units. Let's see if I want any. Of course I'll want some. I will recruit the Hydras with 20 gold and a valuable, and then I will reinforce them immediately with 28 gold and 2 valuables. Yes, I know I'm supposed to reach a big amount of stuff to complete this, but these are too cool. Let's take the Hydra, and I have only building materials and valuables left over. Let's go for a fight, huh? Let's go to this gold mine, which is a level 5 encounter. Which, that's the trade thing. There we go. Level 5 encounter on normal is going to be 1 bronze, 2 silver, and a gold. Okay. Let me set up my units. We'll set up the Hydra there. Set up the Archdevils here. The Pit Lords. The Gorgons and the Basilisks. These gnolls, not going to be used. And now 1 bronze, so it's got to be a zombie. Then 2 silver and a gold. Vampires. Magi. And Archangels. Uh-oh. Ooh, and they go against... Oh, that stinks. They're going to do some bonus attacks up against my Archdevils. Okay. Well, well, well. Okay. How did I get an extra? Oh, yeah, I just found an artifact. That was pointless thinking. Okay, 10. I am first. So, we will... One. No. Okay. As an instant, I'm going to give my Archdevils +2 to their attack. And then I will also use this as an instant for +2 more attack. And that will move my Archdevils up there. They will attack the Archangels. And that's going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 attack. 9 against a defense of 2 is 7. The Archangels go down. And these are gone. That's an activation for the Archdevils. When attacking Archangels, they get +2, so even more. I shouldn't have used both of them on it. Oh well. Okay, 7, 7, 8, 6, and vampires are going to go, and they will fight Silver Tier. I'm going to have them fight the Archdevils. So 4 against defensive 2 is 2 damage, and we will not retaliate because the vampires ignore retaliation. So we will do Hydras, which are going to go here. Ignore retaliation attacks, and this unit attacks up to 2 adjacent enemy units. So we will attack the vampires at -1, 6 against defensive 0. That's enough to kill them. And we will attack the zombies, which, is it just 1 roll or a second? Either way, it'd be enough to kill the zombies as well. I don't think it's another roll. Yeah, because it's part of that attack, so it attacks up to 2. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Now the Magi are 6, still not enough. Pit Lords, we will do 1, 2, 3. We'll go there. Magi are going to attack the Basilisk. 2 against defensive 1. That's going to be 1. And I'll just pass with those. Can't get to them anyway. Starting a new round. Archdevils are going to go here. And we will use the Vial of Lifeblood to remove up to 3 wounds. -1. So 4 against defense of that. That's going to be 4 damage to the Magi, who are going to get to retaliate. Probably wasted my Vial of Lifeblood. 3 against defensive 2. Yeah, I did. Doesn't matter anyway, the damage doesn't carry over. That's an activation. Let's finish him off with the Hydras. 0. Done. This army is a powerhouse. I like that better. Okay. Well, that was... Now we flag. Gold income goes up by 5. I gain 5 gold right away. And with 1 more movement point, I will go here. And it's search the spell deck. Fly. During this turn, your hero can move through blocked fields or Inferno. Select a space. Now roll an attack die. All units on this and adjacent space take 1 damage for every +1 rolled. I don't like that. I'm going to take Fly. Then I'm going to use Diplomacy to draw a Bronze Tier unit, which I have no intention of recruiting. Knowles. Please use us. And that is going to be the round. Alright, round 10. Astrologer's round. Astrologers proclaim Week of the 40 Thieves. Until the next Astrologer's round, whenever a player is about to draw an event card, they draw 2 cards instead of 1. Choose 1 to resolve and put the other at the bottom of the event deck. Alright. As I walk through the lands of the shadow of death, I look back at my deeds and realize there's not much left. You better watch what you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your army might be covered with Rust Dragon spit. Okay. Well, let's flip over movement points. Going to be moving relatively quick here. This one, that's visited, can't gain any experience. And we'll go here with the 2 treasure die. Choose 1 to resolve. Looking for not to experience. You didn't listen. Oh, wait. 3, 4, 5, 6, my hand limit. Cast this as an expert effect at 2 power. And then 3, 4 power to get +2 movement this turn for my primary hero, and fly. I can go over obstacles. So we'll go 1, 2. I will not search the spell deck. 3. Trading post, I don't want to trade. 4 will go here. It's a level 4 encounter. I'm level 5. They flee in terror. So Scholar gives me a -1, which is draw 2 spell cards, take one of them, discard the other. Lame. Well, I guess I get that Inferno anyway. With my last movement point, I will discover this tile, which turn that way. And fly was cast. That's gone. I don't want this card. The cost of buying spells, I don't have a mage guild. I don't want wisdom. I've got too many spells as is. Well, I didn't do too much on that round. At least not as much as I thought I was going to do. Just kind of cut a swath across the board. Alright. Round 11. Got 2 more rounds, which is a resource round. So an event round and 2 cards instead of 1. I choose 1 to resolve. So, event possibility number 1. Garden of Revelation. Beside the road, you see a beautiful garden filled with flowers in full bloom. A monk sitting in the middle invites you to meditate with him. Each player chooses 1 option. Draw 4 cards either from your discard pile or your deck, then remove any number of spell or ability cards from your hand. For every 2 cards removed this way, you can perform a search 2 on the spell deck or the ability deck. After that, discard all cards from hand and draw up to your hand limit, or gain, leave, and get nothing. Or Withered Hermit. You found the humble dwelling of a withered hermit. The hermit tells you that he is willing to give you his treasure for the first wise person he meets. Each player chooses 1 option. Name a resource that will not show on any of the dice, then roll 3 resource dice. If you are correct, resolve 1 of the dice. If you are wrong, choose 1 result and subtract it from your resources. Or roll 1 resource die. You may pay the indicated resource to search to the artifact deck, or leave and gain nothing. I will try the Withered Hermit. Now I'm going to say that 2 valuables will not show up. That's why you don't gamble. If you're wrong, choose 1 result and subtract it from your resources. I will choose 3 gold to be subtracted from my resources. Dumb. Gain my income. And continuing on. Okay. Secondary hero is going to go here. And we'll go here. Primary hero will go here. Then we will go to the witch hut, and I'm adding that to the discard pile. I do not want that. Scouting is lame. And then we will do this and gain a valuable back. Well, not back. Okay. I have the 13th round. Is it the end or At the end of the round, you lose unless you have fulfilled all conditions. Okay. I'm going to recruit my wyverns with 12 gold and then spend 18 in a valuable to reinforce them right away. Gives me 2 gold in change. Wyverns are added to my list, and I am going to remove the basilisks, I think. No. Let's see what else I can do first with my recruiting. I might be getting rid of these pit lords. If I can get 9 more gold or 14 more gold. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, can't reinforce them. So we'll probably still get rid of the pit lords. Yeah, we'll get rid of the pit lords. Well, put them aside, not exactly getting rid of them. They're part of my army, but I can only carry 5 into battle. So I forgot to draw cards at the beginning of the round. I wanted to discard my wisdom. And then, so that's 4. I can shuffle and get 2 more. And I will draw cards from the spell deck until you find an expert spell card. Take it into your hand or discard it. Reshuffle the rest. Weakness. Chain Lightning. Okay, I will take Chain Lightning and Weakness gets reshuffled. And then I'll sacrifice Magic Arrow and Firewall as instants for 2 spell power, and I will cast Dimension Door at 2 spell power, which will move me 2 fields away. So we'll go to this mine. I will play Empowered Knowledge after casting a spell. Instead of discarding it, put it into my hand. So then, now we have a level 5 encounter, which is bronze, 2 silver, and a gold. So let's set up here. First off, Hydra's there, Wyverns here, Archdevils, Basilisks, and Gorgons. So, where's the standard fare of zombies here? Did I put them in this stack? Yeah, of course. Okay, zombies. Nomads. Sharpshooters. And ghost dragons. Okay. This is probably a terrible idea, because I realize now that I'm out of movement points, so I have to get this going and win. Okay, well, first off, I'm not going to gamble on the Inferno, so I'm going to cast these as 2 spell power and select a unit and 2 other units closest to it. Allocate damage, starting with the first selected unit at 2, 1, and 1. Okay, so we'll do 2 to the Ghost Dragons, 1 to the Sharpshooters, 1 to the Nomads. And I am first with the Archdevils, so we will go... We'll go here, and that was Chain Lightning. Archdevil's going to attack the Ghost Dragons at 5. 6 against defense of 2 is 4 damage. That is enough to kill the Ghost Dragons. And that's going to be an activation on the Archdevils. Sharpshooters, silver tier to silver tier, so they're going to shoot the Basilisks. At +1, 4 against defense of 1. Does 3 damage to the Basilisks. And it ignores the combat penalties, so that's why, even though it was back row to back row, which I forgot to do with the Magi last match, but we won't dwell on that. 7, 3, 7. Oh, 11. I should have gone before the Sharpshooters. Well, we'll do the Wyverns. We'll go here and attack the Nomads. Place 2 faction cubes on this target. At the beginning of its every activation, remove 1 of them and inflict a damage. Okay. These Nomads are going to die. +1, 7. Against defensive 1 is 5. That's more than enough to kill them. Okay. So that's an activation from those. Now the Hydra at 7 are going to go. 1, 2, 3. We will attack the sharpshooters at 7. 6 against defensive 0 is enough to kill them anyway. And once you get gold tier units, especially if you get more than one of them, this is pretty much it. 5 and 5. Gorgons attacking zombies at +1, which puts a defensive 2 on them. So 5, 3 damage, dead. Okay, I guess I shouldn't have been as worried as I was about spending my movement. Alright, I am flagging this mine, which is valuable. Income goes up by 1, and I produce 1 right away, which I'm going to exchange these 2 and get a 3. Okay. That is the turn. Round 12, which is an astrologer's round. Astrologers proclaim Week of the Scorched Ground. Until the next astrologer's round, all spells from the Earth Magic and Fire Magic schools are cast at +1 power. Okay, so Earth and Fire Magic at +1 power. Flip over my movement points here. This time draw my cards. Stupid scouting. And wisdom again. Okay. Now, I will go here, which they flee in terror. Please not to experience again. Okay, artifact. I will search the artifact deck too. And I'll choose Angel Wings. Okay. Now, that's visited. I have to resolve a mistake I made earlier. I built my citadel, but I left my resources too close to my resource pool, so technically my wyverns should not be reinforced right now. I would be a gold short of having reinforced them. So if I move here where I would gain 3 gold, I would only gain 2 instead. I removed all my other materials. I did not use the Wyvern's special cube ability, and even at their 5 attack, before they were reinforced, that battle would have gone the same way. I went back and double-checked because I still had the basilisks to move and everything. So this is where my resources are currently sitting, and everything is now as it should be. So that was a little sloppiness on my part, but let's do the Angel Wings right away to gain +1 movement for my main hero. So we'll just go here, do a level 5 encounter, a bronze, 2 silver, and a gold. We will set these up now properly reinforced and fairly. The Hydras shouldn't have been reinforced yet either. I would have had all those resources back. I did... No, they would have, because I had the Citadel, and then I reinforced the Hydras first, so the Wyverns were the only ones. Zombies, we'll set them there. Zealots. Crusaders. And unicorns, okay. 7 being their highest. I am first. Lame. Alright, well, Archdevils are going to go. Attacking the unicorns. +1, 6. It's 5 damage to them. Unicorns retaliate. 5, 4 against defensive 2. 2 damage to the Archdevils. And retaliation paralyzed. Okay. That's an activation. That's a retaliation. Now it is 11. The wyverns should be first. Okay, we're going to fly them 1, 2, 3. And we are going to attack the zombies. And it's going to be 6 against defensive 1. Easy. Done. Okay, and I don't even need to keep the faction cubes. 7, 7. I am still first. Okay, we will go Hydras here. Attacking the Crusaders. 7. 6, 5, 4 damage to the Crusaders. That's enough to kill them. They're dead. Okay, activation on the Hydras. Unicorns are going to go, and they are going to attack the Archdevils at -1. 4 against defensive 2. It's 2 more damage to the Archdevils. And that is an activation on them. 5, 5, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and we'll stop. That's 2 activations. I will now Zealots, Silver Tier to Silver Tier, attacking the Basilisks. Ignore the combat penalty against adjacent units. So he's back row to now front row, so it doesn't matter. 3 against defensive 1 is 2 damage. That's an activation on them. That's the round. Spend a movement to Wyverns are going to go, and they are going to attack the Zealots. Five against defensive 0 is enough. Okay. Devils are going to activate, and they lose that paralysis token. Hydras are going to be next. 2, 3. We'll go here, up in this corner. Base of 7. Against defense of 1. 6 damage. Unicorns are dead. Gold tier slows me down a little bit, but not totally. Didn't steamroll it as much as I did the last ones. Gather my armies. I want more, but with this taxation or whatever I have to do looming large, I don't think I can swing it. So we will do flagging that, getting me a valuable. It increases my income by 1. And now that one's also flagged. I've got 2 movement left. I pretty much got all the mines that I can get. And that's going to be an enemy army, so I can just go there and fight it, and I don't have to spend movement points. So let's do it. Night Stalkers! Passing through the small valley, the troops come across the scarred land where a great battle had taken place. Bodies, weapons, and horses litter the ground as a somber reminder of war. Nothing but the screams of tortured and dying men echo through the trees. Taking a quick look, the scouts report vampires feeding on the survivors of battle. The tattered remains of an army are food for these soulless creatures. The shouts of their leader can be heard. Sir Michael lives. You rush to where his voice is coming from, but while passing a nearby bush, an incredibly strong hand grabs your arm and holds you in place. You hear an amused voice from behind.
Well, well, well. Looky what showed up on our doorstep. So you think you can take us? We don't think so.
You lift your head a bit and see a vampire who was mimicking Michael's shouts a moment ago.
Hey, look! Lunch!
Instinctively, you gather your magic and release it in a fiery burst, charring everything behind you. With satisfaction, you feel the vampire's grip dissolve into nothingness as the creature shrieks in agony, seeing that their leader steps out. A ragtag bunch of people who want to become our dinner. Good. Finger-licking good. This is it. Dig in, boys! Okay, with 11, the Wyverns are going to be first. And we are going to go 1, 2, 3. We will attack the zombies. At 0, that's going to be 6 against defensive 1. So 5 damage. 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be an activation token on the wyverns. Zombies will retaliate at 2 against defense of 1. 1 damage on the wyverns. And place 2 faction cubes on them. On their activation, they're going to get a hit. Okay, so 10, 9, and I believe, actually, with this map, or match, +2 to initiative, so 11. I'd still be first, but the vampires are next. So, cast a spell. Draw a spell and cast it on the unit with the highest defense in the player's army if it inflicts damage or a special status. So, Curse. And it's going to be cast at 1. The selected unit suffers -2 defense. That would be the Hydras. Yep. Hydras have -2 defense. Okay, vampires. Go to the closest one. Attacking the Archdevils at 5, -2. It's 3 damage with no retaliation from the Archdevils because the vampire. Then remove up to 2 wounds from this figure. Okay. So now it's 9. I still have 10. So the devils will go first. We'll fly right there. They can fly, yes. The Archdevils will go there and attack the Liches. And we will ignore the defense of the attacked unit. We'll use these 2 at 2 spell power to cast Frenzy, so I will ignore the defense of the Silver Tier unit, which is the Liches. At +1, that's going to be 6 total damage against a defense of 0, which is the 5, and 1 carries over. So there we go. Liches retaliate. +1, so 4 against defense of 2. It's 2 damage. That's a retaliation, and that is an activation on the Archdevils. So now 6, 7, 8 is their next highest. So 7, 5, and 5. Liches are going to attack the... It doesn't say that ranged units can't attack when they're engaged, I think. Okay, anyway. Defense. Place this card on the unit with the highest health in the army. So that's going to be 5, 4, 4, and 3. I will choose... Well, it's got to be the Liches, because they have the highest health in the army. So they get +1 defense. They're going to attack the Devils at +1, which puts them at 4 against defense of 2. That's going to be 2 damage to them. And they are dead. They served their purpose, I guess. Well, that stinks. And now I believe it is my turn, because I have 7. Yeah, I'm still first. Okay. I'm going to attack the vampires, because if I attack the mummies, I get an automatic set to -1. So I'm attacking the vampires with +1. So 8 against defense of 1 is going to be... Whoops. I didn't mean to flip those over. They were at this. 8. And that is going to be 7 damage. So 4, 5, 6, 7. And they are going to retaliate here in a minute. But it is now going to carry over to the mummies, because ignores retaliation attack. This unit attacks up to 2 adjacent enemies. I believe, because I chose this as the primary target, the special would... Well, maybe. I'll just say it sets it to -1 for the mummies. So that would still be 6 against defensive 1. That's enough to kill the mummies either way. That's going to be an activation on the Hydras. Vampires. Oh, wait. Ignores retaliation attacks, so nothing. Okay. Now the mummies are going to, or the zombies are going to activate. No, they're not. I've got these guys. 1, 2, 3 basilisks. On a -1, enemies on the attack die. Outcomes on the attack die, the attacker gains, or the attacked gains paralysis. So 0, 4. Against defensive 1 is 3. That's still enough. Kill the vampires. Activation. Gorgons. At +1. So that's 2 defense bonus. So 5 against defensive 2 is 3. Carries over to kill them. They are done. Alright, it's a new round, and the liches have a 8, but I still have 11, so I will go first. +1, 7. That's 5 damage, or 6 damage. They are dead. Okay. That is the battle. I don't have to do any more fighting, I don't think. So let's see what I get. Prison of the Vampires. Once the battle is over, you approach the small prison guarded by the vampires you have just vanquished. Inside, a group of Arathians is waiting to be freed. Some are chained to the walls, while others lie on the ground. All bear fang marks on their bodies. You call out Sir Michael, and a sturdy man comes forward. He seems to be still alive and in good condition, too. You show him the letter, he reads it, and drops to one knee. I pledge the loyalty of me and my men. Satisfied, you move forward to free them from prison. Round 13. The final round. I've got to get all my resources in a row here. Alright, and we have an event. That is going to be Messenger with Supplies. A lone rider on a battered horse catches up with your army. They dismount, pull out a small package, and stagger toward you. Gasping heavily, the messenger starts, Your delivery has arrived. After that, they faint. You don't remember ordering anything. Each player draws the top 2 cards from the artifact deck and chooses one option. I am not going to buy anything. I am really low on resources. Put them both on the artifact discard pile and roll 2 resource die and resolve one of them. I am just going to do that. Because either way, they wouldn't be worth buying. Legs and head of Legion. Anyway. I will take 2 valuables because I am not able to get the resources as of right now. We will do resources, which I have set aside and I gained, which I have to stop at the trading post. But I'm going to move my secondary hero, see what happens first. My hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. Alright, I am going to move the secondary hero to the scholar, which anything he gets will go to the primary hero, but I have to look that up again. Alright, just have to roll the die. And -1, I draw 2 from the spell deck and keep 1. Fly or misfortune? I'll take fly. And can't really do anything else with the secondary hero, so we'll just go here. We'll cast fly with an expert and a regular, or an empowered and an expert for 4 spell power. So I get +2 movement this turn. I can fly. I will use the Boots of Speed to gain another movement, which I'll just take off of my... Alright. I know I have to go to the trading post for sure. Remove. Select 2 spell cards from your discard pile and put them back into your hand. Yeah. That's not going to be worth anything. No. Only get the 1 power. Can't do it. Can't fly again. So I need to go to the trading post. So one of these is going to be reserved for the trading post. Can I maximize anything? I've got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Movement. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not going to be worth as much, I believe, because that's at most is some building material. I lose if I can't trade these resources out. I might be able to. Okay, we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the extra movement from the Boots of Speed will put me back at the trading post. So 3 to go here, which gives me 2 artifacts and then 2 morale tokens. So I'll search this. Endless Bag of Gold and Shield of the Yawning Dead. I'll do the Endless Bag of Gold right away. Remove this card and gain 6 gold. Yeah. Then I will search the artifact deck again. Ever-Pouring Vial of Mercury or Ever-Flowing Crystal Cloak. Discard 3 cards to gain... Well, I have to discard after this when I get 2 morale tokens, so I might as well choose Ever-Pouring Mercury Vial, and as an instant, get 2 valuables, which I don't know if that's going to cut it. And then I get 2 negative morale tokens, so I have to discard my cards. Might be at the end of a round. Yes, it's discard all of the cards from negative morale at the end of a turn. So I'm at negative morale. I still have that hand of cards, but it doesn't mean anything. And 3 will go to the trading post. Okay. I have to come up with 40 gold, 20 building materials, and 10 valuables. 10, 20, 30, 39, 40. There's the 40 gold. 10 valuables. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 valuables. Oh, I can do it with these valuables. I can trade them. 20 building materials. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Trade 1 for 2. 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, yeah, I will do that and trade those. Okay, so there's 20 building. There's 10 valuables. There's 40 gold. Yikes. I was sweating it there. I shouldn't have went all in on those gold tier units. Ugh, almost cost me. If I didn't get that stupid Mercury vial thing, I wouldn't have been able to do it because those 2 valuables, I only had 1 extra valuable and 2 gold. So those 2 valuables from that card are what won me this match. Oh man. Just to think about it here. If I was here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. So I would have been able to go to this treasure. Let's see. If I would have gone to the treasure, I would have had to get the resource die. Oh! And I would have had to have rolled the 2 valuables. No way! No way! I would have won either way. What? I couldn't have called that at all. There's a Babe Ruth roll there. Oh man, and there's no way those are loaded. I mean, that was great. This one not proving me right here. Well, whatever. That's awesome. Okay, I feel a lot better about that. Anyway, let's wrap this up because my greed for gold tier units almost cost me like an idiot. Dirty politics. Grinding your teeth at having to be political, you fork over the tithe. Your men, for the one last time, count the crates of material demanded by the Arathian lords, all under the watchful eye of their messenger. Having one less thing to worry about, you continue on with your journey. But the surroundings are not making it easier for your troops. The stench of death fills your lungs, and you can taste the decay in the air. The undead horrors foul the land, creating a waste none can stand to live in. On a nearby rock, you see a message saying, "Beware the Night Stalkers!" Rallying the troops, you are able to push on with renewed determination. Where there is a light, there is always a shadow. It has been a long and tiring day. Traveling through the familiar territory that has been turned into a pile of rotting corpses takes its toll on everyone. As if that wasn't enough, the scouts brought more grim news. They have been tracking the Death Knight and have finally returned with word of who he is. Those Death Knights and necromancers seen here used to be living members of a cult that served Lord Hart. They raised him from the dead. Then he raised the dead members of his cult who now serve him with utter loyalty. Sighing heavily, you retire to your simple tent to find a few hours of sleep. Noticing the flap is open, you cautiously enter, wondering if an undead understand the notion of assassins. If they do, you are not going to find the answer today. Dozens of flowers litter the inside of the tent, their sweet perfume a heavenly scent. You breathe deeply and realize this is not something the soldiers or Baltron would do. Giggling from just outside the door lets you know who is responsible for such a gesture. Children, recently rescued, are watching you enjoy the simple pleasure of flowers amidst the horrors of war. You toss them a smile and shoo them off to bed. For that night, at least, you sleep well and dream only of your childhood. All right. After 2 weeks, I'm getting back into it. I think I made a mistake with my resources, but I'm not going to dwell on it, because we are going to go to round 2. And here is my deck as it stands. Took out all the statistics and special ability, and the 5 cards I chose are Fly, Boots of Speed, Angel Wings, Dimension Door, and Dragon Scale Armor. As always, if you're watching, providing me rules clarifications or pointing out mistakes I make, as I usually say, I'll try to do better next video. And I do try, but still end up messing up. But like I said, it's just a solo game, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I've lost as Tower so far, came really close as losing as Fortress, but we go on.